Hello everyone, hopefully every single one of you are alright. This is Matthew Avasem, and in this short video, we're going to have a quick look at one of the most popular algorithms of searching for an element in arrays. So technically we've got a variety of programming languages, but this algorithm, as it is so popular, it is common amongst all of these languages. So it doesn't really matter that you're coding in Python, in C++, in C# or anything else. There might be some syntax differences, but the basic algorithm and the basic function is the same. So we're going to analyze on the code. Let's have a look and see what we've got on the code. As you can see, I defined a function in here called linear search. So we can simply perceive that the main topic today is linear search. So what does it mean when we say linear search? As you know, linear, the word linear comes from line. It is rooted in the word line. So it means that this function will check every single one of the elements consisted in an array and finds out about the right element that we are looking for. So as you can see, I defined this function as the inputs or parameters of this array. Obviously, we need to receive an array from the main program that we have. As I said again, it doesn't really matter that you're coding in C++, in Python, or any other language. The main function is still the same. There might be some syntax differences, but we are putting our base on C#. So we received a sort of an array from the main program of ours, and then another parameter we require is the value that we are looking for within the array's, in fact, values. So let's get to the container of this function. As you can see, we've got a for loop. We know that the main functionality of loop is navigating amongst different values of a single array. So here we require the same thing. We need to have a look, check every single one of those elements, and then, of course, put some ifs, put some conditions to find out about what we actually require. So we've got a for loop. Of course, the beginning step is index 0. And we need to continue this for loop until the end of that array. So as you know, we've got I++, which means that we need to continue till we get to this point of r.length. So r.length in C#, in fact, bounces back the fact that we are looking for the whole length of the array. But we get to the condition, perhaps the most important part. There is a requirement of an if. As you can see, inside the if, we said if there was an index out of the array equal to target. So this is quite interesting. If there was an index, let me trace it. If there was an index out of the array equal to the target that we have, now it's a time to return that index, because it means that we've found the index we require. Or in other ways, we can return the value itself. This is totally up to the developer's choice. But we're putting our base on this fact that it is probably found. If there was an index in the array equal to the target that we have determined, then we can return the same index. Or if it is not found, return -1, which is something quite understandable amongst the developers, which means that we haven't found the element we wanted. So let's get to the main of the program. What I'm going to do is defining an array. Imagine we've got an array of ints, for instance, with the name of r, consisting some numbers like 1, 5, perhaps. We've got a 9 and a 7. So this is the array that I've got. But the way we have to continue right now is defining our target. As you can see, we require a target inside the parameters of the function. We have already had the array corresponding to the main. As you can see, we've got the int r, we defined it, and now it's a time for defining the target. So imagine I'm looking for the value of 7 amongst the elements we have within the array. One and only thing remaining right now is calling the function. Now it's a time to call the function and ask for the functionality of it. So the first thing obviously we ought to do is defining a sort of a variable for it. With any name you want, I put the name on int of result, and then it's a time for the function. As you can see, the name of the function is linear search. So here we've got the linear search for inputs for the arguments we have within the function. Number one, we need the array itself. As you can see, I put the array, and the second thing corresponding once again is the target. So we need our target in here, which is already defined. So let me end the definition of this result. So what happens now is that this function will check every single one of the elements of this array that we have already defined. Based on the condition we put, if there was any index within the array in which we've got index number 3, if there was anything equal to the target we need, which is number 7, it will return the same index. So the output of this program right now will be number 3, the index will be returned. Now, in some other circumstances, the developers might choose to return the value itself by defining some other ifs in here. Even console.writeLine can be quite adaptable and somehow beneficial in this case. But the most basic, the simplest way is the thing we are saying right now. I hope it was lucrative. Thank you for watching.